Hi everyone, this is Adrian.
And I'm Carrie.
And for this episode, we are going to talk about another viewer's request. It's called L'Odyssée pour Homme by Issei Miyake. And yes, this fragrance is strong. I sprayed it on myself and it's an intense citrus bomb at the beginning. And then after a while, it still smells citrusy. It smells like lilac and it lasts for a citrus fragrance. So, what notes are in this?
There's a lot of notes, but this is a big citrus bomb, like you said. It definitely opens up with a huge range of citrus. The one that it's best known for is yuzu, which is a nice tart Japanese type of a lemon lime. It also has lemon, bergamot, mandarin, and a synthetic note called cologne, not like cologne, but cologne. And it's supposed to have a watermelon sort of a note to it.
Wow, so a lot of citrus plus some watermelon. So, it's very tropical.
Yeah, it also, like you said, it has some flowery scents to it. Lotus and geranium are big.
Oh,
It
okay.
doesn't mention, what was it you thought, the
Yeah, I thought I had lilac.
lilac? I think it's probably the combination of the lotus and the geranium. And it has in the base, what you're left with in the dry down is Tahitian vetiver. It's a type of a fragrant grass, musk, and cedar.
Oh, okay. But a lot of citrus.
A
Definitely a
lot
lot
of
of
citrus.
citrus for the top notes.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So you said that this one lasts a long time. How long do you notice the scent lasting, and how long
Well,
does the citrus last?
about 4 hours. The citrus bombs is gone by like 5 minutes and stuff, but the long citrus fragrance still lasts for about 4 hours.
Right, I would agree that the first 5 minutes when I put it on, I don't like to smell it because it has so much going on with all the citrus that it just almost overwhelms you, and then you can't smell it for a while. I usually put it on and then give it about 10-15 minutes or so before I sniff it. And then it's started to get down to where I can actually pick up some of the individual notes, especially the yuzu and the mandarin. Those I love.
Okay. So, is what you call a summer fragrance?
Yeah, this is really a great summer fragrance. I mean, it can be worn in a lot of occasions, but because it's such a citrus bomb and it really has the citrus last a good portion of the way through it, maybe up to 6 hours on some skin types.
Oh,
I would say it works best in summer and warm weather type of settings.
let's
Yeah.
talk about Issei Miyake. And who is he?
So he's a fashion designer. He's got men's and women's clothing lines, accessories, watches, and this particular one, the kind of the one that set off his line, I think, and really brought it to fame, came out back in 1994, and his name Issei Miyake. They did what many people think is a play on words. La de Issei. If you pronounce it quickly in French, it's l'Odyssée, which is like the Odyssey. It's like a voyage. So,
Okay. So, is he still relevant today?
yeah, I think so. He may have faded somewhat from some of his initial fame back in the 90s, but he's still got big clothing lines, and the apparel is really relevant today, as well as other fashion accessories. As well as the cologne lines, they come out with summer flankers just about every year. And the really neat thing about them is it's like 1 year and then they're gone. So a lot of people do like collections of Issei Miyake summer fragrances.
Okay. So, only summer, not other like seasons.
No, he does have some others that come out and they stay out, but they usually do summer flankers every couple years or so, and they're in really decorative bottles, and it's a pretty limited series.
Is this his signature fragrance?
Yes, I would say this is a signature fragrance.
Okay. So, the other thing I noticed about this, you call it perfume or cologne.
Either one, it's fragrance.
The thing about this fragrance that I notice is that it's very similar for me to CK1 And even the design of the bottle, they both come in a frosted bottle with the same, color scheme. So tell us about, is that the thing going on in the 90s that made it popular?
Well, you brought up a really good point about La Odyssey and CK1. They have a lot of similarities. Certainly, the bottles are both frosted and silver, so that looks very similar. They both came out in 1994,
Oh, wow.
and they both open up with a lot of citrus and some floral. Even way back then, because I had bottles of this when both of these first came out back in the 90s, I would say that the Issei Miyake was by far superior to CK1. CK1 had much more of a synthetic smell, which, it was good for its time and it was novel. But it was definitely on the more affordable line, whereas Issei Miyake is probably a higher end designer, back then almost a niche level because of the quality and the unusualness of it. So the two of them, they do have similar smell. They certainly have similar appearance. I couldn't really say which came first, CK1 or this one, but they do resemble each other a lot. And another thing worth noting is one of the most popular fragrances over the decades that bears a strong resemblance to this, but certainly isn't a copy, is the original Acqua di Gio, which came out in 1996. They're all frosted bottles like this with silver caps. They all open up with strong citrus and have kind of aquatic notes and some florals in there. But Acqua di Gio and this one certainly were top of the line back then. And Acqua di Gio probably still commands more of a price than this one, but this is a classic. This is one that you want to have in your wardrobe.
Okay, and if you guys want us to talk about another fragrance, leave it at the comments below. You can always like and subscribe to us because we enjoy what we do. You take care. Bye
Bye.
bye.